Hey everyone, in this video we're going to continue looking at simplifying fractions, and we're going to look at something that I call the zero trick. Our directions tell us to write each fraction in simplest form. So starting with example 1, we have the fraction 40 over 50. Instead of listing all of our factors to start with, I'm going to notice that both the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, end in a zero. So right off the bat, I know that each one of these numbers is divisible by 10. For this reason, I'm going to begin by dividing the top and bottom by 10. It's going to make my fraction much easier to work with. So 40 divided by 10 is 4, and 50 divided by 10 is 5. The zero trick basically tells us if we're dividing and simplifying a fraction, if I have a zero on the top and the bottom, I'm going to cancel it out. So in the future, I will not write divided by 10 in each step. I will just cancel out my zeros like this and simplify it to 4/5. So 4/5 is my solution for the first fraction. Moving on to the second example, it works the same way if I have more than one zero. So if you notice, in this one I have 600 over 800. So there are two zeros in the top and in the bottom. So in this case, I would divide both parts by 100. So when I divide both the top and the bottom by 100, 600 divided by 100 is just 6, and 800 divided by 100 is just 8. Or I could just say cancel out two zeros on the top with two zeros on the bottom. One thing you have to be careful with in this trick is sometimes we can simplify a little bit further. So I can simplify my fraction 6 over 8. If I look closely at it, I notice both of these are even numbers. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2. And when I do that, this fraction simplifies to 3/4. So 3/4 would be my solution for example 2. That is the simplest form of the original fraction. All right, so moving on to example 3, again with my zero trick. I have one zero on top of my fraction, so I'm going to cancel it out with one zero on the bottom of my fraction. So that's going to simplify to 2 over 20. But again, make sure you look to see if we can simplify it any further. In this case, I can divide out a 2 in the numerator and the denominator and simplify this third example to 1 over 10. So 1/10 would be the simplest form for example 3. Moving on to example 4, I have 1600 divided by 800. So I can cancel out both zeros on top with both zeros on the bottom. And when I rewrite that, I have 16 over 8, and I have a larger number in the numerator divided by the 8 in the denominator. If you remember, this is just read as 16 divided by 8, which is just an even 2. So 2 is the simplest form for example 4. All right, and finishing up with number 5, example 5. In this problem, I have 450 over 500. I'm going to begin by canceling out one zero in the numerator with one zero in the denominator. And when I rewrite that, I will have 45 over 50. So with 45 over 50, well, I know that 5 goes into both of these numbers, so I'm going to start with that. So I'll divide both sides by 5. So when I divide the top and the bottom by 5, I am left with 9 over 10. And 9/10 is a simplified fraction. So this is the simplest form for example 5. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another video, and I hope this was helpful. I'm going to put a link to the next video at the top of this screen, and any related videos I'm going to leave along the bottom. Please feel free to leave any questions or any comments or any suggestions in the comments below, and we'll see you for our next video. Thanks.